Reading of the district mission statement, it should be Laura, but I guess we'll give it to Kendra this time.
All right.
That's all right.
Our district will empower learning, energize achievement, and enhance community excellence without excuse.
All right, fantastic. Okay, put your mic on. All right, do we have any additional items for the agenda? The only thing we are gonna do is throw slide Maddie in there, which is, we're not gonna make an amend to the agenda or anything for that. All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
That is Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
That's Tim Johnson. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. All right, recognition of visitors. Well, we have Ryan, usual suspect, and then two, we have Megan Christopher, who they will be both kind of speaking later on in the meeting, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that, should be, maybe a little earlier. All right, reports and presentations. Committee reports, has anybody met recently? I don't believe so. Well, I guess we have had the non-certs, haven't we, in certain groups, or no?
Yeah, we had an updated meeting with the paraprofessionals and the non-certs, and we're still working on that. I think later on, if I remember correctly, the custodial contract has been approved, and we'll be voting on that. The other thing is, I was talking with Jason Westfall today, and just to give you an update on some of the upgrades that we've done, the seating in the auditorium is all complete, so all the new seats are in, they're installed. The fence down by the bus barn is in and installed. The dugout fencing and roof is done. Jason's gonna have them come back. There's a couple items he wasn't happy with, so he's gonna make them come back and change those. And the boys' locker room is on schedule to hopefully be done by September 6th. So those are kind of the updates on that stuff.
All right. So the softball team need covers on their dugouts? Yeah, I know, I'm joking. I know, if it was football team, it would've been something else. All right, since you were here, Megan, thought I'd give you a hard time. All right, superintendent report.
A couple things. We had talked earlier about doing the strategic plan here in October and November-ish, and I would just, after thinking about it more and talking with some other colleagues, and proposing that we push that off into the second part of the year. Part of it goes along with my second report is just have been doing some listening sessions, and I have invited our community and staff in and do that as much as I can, but especially through the month of September. So far to date, I think 4 students, 12 staff, and 9 community members so far, and we are going to work with how to get more students in because we haven't necessarily publicized that, but I'll work to do that. A couple things from that. It's cool to hear our staff talk so highly of our students who, just like they have a big heart, they're always willing to give. And then our community really values our teachers and their expertise, and I would say just the idea of a growth mindset that we keep trying to get better at what we do and not just settle for where we're at. So I really appreciate that. And, the other one I'll report on, because I'm asking 4 basic questions of everybody, just our strengths of our district, challenges of our district. If they were me, what would be their top 2 priorities, which the typical response is, I don't want to be you at all. And then your thoughts on personalized learning. And so one of them, their advice to me, which I take to heart, is just for me to be visible and to make sure I communicate. It's a common thing to be expected, but it's good to always listen and hear that from others. We've had new staff in today and tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then all staff, including teachers, paraprofessionals, custodians, office staff in our district will be going to Medford. Teachers are there all day with some curriculum pieces in the morning, and then all staff will hear some top 20 messages from, I believe, Willow Sweeney in the afternoon. And then as of right now, we do have a couple paraprofessional positions that are open. That along with one teacher sub for mandatory leave, and then in September are open positions.
All right.
Questions? Great.
All right, thank you. All right, enrollment update, kind of the information's there. Anybody have any questions on that? If you've looked at it?
I just had a question on the 4-year-olds. There were 41 last year and only 14 5-year-olds this year. So would that be the same group of kids?
Some of those 4-year-olds could have moved to kindergarten depending on their age.
Okay.
I think it's September 1st. If they turn 5 by September 1st, they can go into kindergarten. And some of those students decline that, so they'll stay another year in pre-K. That's what the 3, 4, and 5 is on the chart.
Okay, so it looks like as of right now, our enrollment is just a little down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think, if we're not correct, I think Matt kind of budgeted for the same.
Or even a little decrease, wasn't it?
Was it decrease?
I think it was a decrease.
I know it wasn't an increase, so. All right, anybody else have any other questions on that? All right, item number D, athletic director, Ryan.
All right. All right, so we are well underway. We are a week and a day in. High school sports started all last week, and then junior high sports started today. Overall, things have been solid. Good reports, a lot of energy around the school again with all of our student athletes back in the building, which is always nice to have. I will get you a final list of numbers, but our preliminary numbers, junior high football, we're at 20, which is down from last year. Junior high volleyball is up. We have 29. We had 3 registered today. 9 cheerleaders. Cross country, we're at 31. That's 6 through 12. We have 16 cross country runners. Football, 34, and volleyball is 29. But we're off and running. Our cross country team this Friday goes to Fairmont. Our volleyball team has a scrimmage tomorrow in Nicollet, and then we host a scrimmage with Hayfield, not MCW, sorry, Hayfield, New Ulm, and USC this Saturday at our place. And yeah, we're off and running. Everything's going well. Any questions on the activities before I jump to community ed?
Nope.
And then community ed is going solid. We're changing some things up with Ms. Steinberg's class. We're gonna get that in the newsletter. This summer, she actually went through and planned all of her dates, so we're gonna toss that in the newsletter because she had a outstanding fall. And then the winter kind of dropped off with some kids. So we're going to put all of her classes fall and spring in the newsletter just to see if that was some of the reason why her classes dropped off. And then yoga's up and going, and school age care and wraparound care are underway. And wraparound, which is our pre-K students, has phenomenal numbers in there. Same with our school age care is also picking up right now too. And we'll have a desk out at open house so more parents can sign up if needed. Questions about that?
Guess not.
Right, thank you.
Did we want? Oh, yep. Maddie, Millen, I forget you. So, you have anything to add to the meeting?
Like he said, sports started last week. Really excited for that. Other than that, excited for school. A lot of people are excited, actually. They said they're excited for their classes. So they liked all the classes that we got this year, the new ones, especially the agriculture ones. A lot of people said they were looking forward to those.
Good.
Yeah. Any
All right.
questions for me?
No, probably once the school year starts, we'll probably start asking a few, but I
Okay.
think we're pretty, yeah,
When do we start looking for the junior run?
shortly here, I believe.
We have a meeting set up tomorrow to discuss the process. We'd like to fill it.
All right. When did, we'll talk about that later. All right, anything else? Okay, we're moving on. All right, do we want to approve, under a consent agenda, item number 7? As always, you're able to pull anything out if you so choose. But do we have a motion?
So moved.
Laura, under a consent, do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Kendra. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, moving on to the next page, all the way down to item number 8. Second reading of policies and substantial changes. Does anybody have any input in regards to that? Laura, you're the one that usually sees everything, so all good there? All right. Moving on. Item number 9, 9A. Want to talk a little bit beforehand on this, Ryan?
I will just introduce our softball coach, Megan Christopher, to present on the potential of a softball trip this spring.
Okay.
That's all I-
Perfect. Thanks, guys, for having me. We have started thinking about going to Florida, Orlando, so ESPN Worldwide of Sports, with the softball team. The why behind it is I watch these girls day in and day out commit themselves to academics and sports. They work incredibly hard, and to see the camaraderie, even today, walking into the junior high volleyball, it was just fantastic. And I'd like for them to have something to look forward to in regards to athletics. Along with going to Florida, there's a lot of life authentic skills that get tapped into preparing for a trip. Budgeting, fundraising, community members, so being able to reach out and utilize resources. We would miss 2 days of school, potentially 2.5, but I think the opportunities that these kids will get to experience and the positive role models they'll get to experience as well will definitely help even that 2 day, 2.5 day out. Definitely not gonna be a lawyer. What else for you guys?
So, you're going to Orlando a couple days. Sounds like how many games do you have down there potentially?
We have a maximum of 8 we can play. I think that's a lot. So I would like to use we get 3 activities per day. So we can practice, play a game, or hit in a batting cage. So I would like to maybe not play all those games and then be able to go to parks and do team bonding experiences and my favorite, character development.
And what's that?
Character development.
Oh, character development. I thought you meant you're gonna meet one of your characters down
Oh, yeah,
Disney
absolutely.
World or something of your favorite.
Looking forward to seeing Belle.
And there you go. Yeah, I got a story about Spencer, but we won't do that at a video one. So besides that, everybody, when it comes to the fundraising, and everybody's just got to be paid up before they go on the trip, correct?
We are studying that. We do have a payment plan, and hopefully the fundraising goes well, just like everyone would hope for anything. But we are going to try to purchase tickets prior to Thanksgiving. Hopefully we get a great Thanksgiving special, and then that would be the point where we're like, you need to be committed fully to this trip.
And each player has to be in good standing, correct?
Absolutely. Ryan and I just got done talking about this. I am a big advocate of student first. And I think it's just something we write up in a contract. If you're not academically eligible, you don't go, because we do push student first.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for Megan?
So, and I see that this was updated, but, so that if students decide not to go, or we get some students that open enroll after the date, those students aren't gonna have a chance to really practice then while you guys are down there advancing, the rest of the girls' skills.
I would actually, I think it's gonna be a great opportunity for those student athletes who are not going to be able to take leadership at a junior high practice. So I would sit down, talk with them. They would come up with a practice schedule for our junior high, because we'll have a weekend, 2 weeks in by then. So I would ask them to lead a junior high practice.
Okay? And then what happens if, you have 18, but you have two teams? 2, 3, 4 kids get hurt, can't go, get sick, something comes up, how are you gonna field 2 teams to play and be competitive?
4 kids, that's quite the virus.
Well,
Just kidding.
We've seen worse happen, but
Just kidding.
I'm just wondering.
Big thing is I'm not going down there to win. State title's not gonna be won down there. It's more about the opportunities. And if we end up having quite a few teams to where I would still play with 7 down there, and you sure can. If we end up having enough drop or not go, then we get our registration fee back for that second team, and we play with 1. But I'd rather have kids get opportunities and experiences, live at bats, making memories out on the field, rather than saying 8 of you guys will be sitting on the bench while my varsity plays.
So do they have 2 different groups, like a JV
They do,
tournament
yep.
and a varsity?
The JV
Okay.
will be playing JV, varsity will be playing varsity.
Okay. And then this question isn't for you, Megan, but it'd be more for Kurt and everybody else. What do we want for, what's the school gonna require for amount of adult supervision per kids? I know on the history trip, but they try to do, is it 1 per 5 student? I can't remember, but I know that I don't know if we have a policy, but do we wanna look at it? Is 2 for 18 enough? I mean, and this isn't a question for you, this is, like I said, for Kurt and us. Do we even have a chaperone per se policy when we travel like this? I don't know.
I'm not sure on the exact policy. One thing that we did talk about with Ryan and Megan was having 3 chaperones, though, would be our goal. Just because if 2 teams are playing and some girl gets injured and has to be escorted to the hospital or something, then we still need supervision for those athletes who remain. So we have talked about including another coach or chaperone on this trip.
Mhm. Okay.
Ideally, I would like to see a former softball player from college come along and help coach. So that would be my ideal. We could also bring you, Tim.
I think there's 2 other things worth
If
noting.
you've seen me coach softball, you wouldn't want me there.
2 other things worth noting, as Megan brought up, these are considered preseason scrimmages for the State High School League. And then I think the intention is not to come back every year per board policy. They have to come before the board to get approved for an extended stay trip. So that's why she's here, and I believe in our prior discussions, if it goes well, we would potentially look at doing this every 4 years, not every year.
Is all the fundraising done before Thanksgiving, before you purchase, or at the time of purchasing?
I wish.
tickets?
My assistant coach brought this up and said it was one of the best experiences of her life, like
Okay.
in her high school career. And I was like, wow, these girls are pretty cool. Maybe they do deserve something like this. So when we got looking into it, would I have liked to start the fundraising 4 years prior to, or the year I got here? Absolutely. So we are going to try to, we'll put this trip together under 1 year fundraising, but for the following years, it would be across the board.
Okay.
We would not just put it in 1 year fundraising. It's pretty hard on a community.
I think as a school district, it's all about experiences. And if we can bring our kids to have additional experiences, no matter what it is, history trips, softball, just getting Disney World, you know, a lot of kids aren't able to do that with their families later on and that. But if we can do that other school districts also aren't able to do, it just makes us more attractive. And I think if you want retention in your sports, such as you do, that this is the way to do it. So I'm all in favor of it. So that being said, if there's no other questions, is there any other questions for Ryan or Kurt or Megan? All right. I'm going to make a motion to approve the preseason softball trip request to Orlando, Florida from March 25th, 2020 to March 29th, 2020. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Laura. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. All right. Good
you.
luck. Have fun. All right. Item number B, first reading of policy, substantial changes. The following policies need to be revised and will be available on our district website by contacting the district office upon approval. Does anybody have any questions on this policy?
The one thing I will say is that this is not a MSBA recommended policy. This comes to our special ed director. And this policy relates to students who have been tested for an IEP and either qualified, but parents don't agree with the findings, or we have said they don't qualify, and parents might disagree with some of our findings as well. So then they are entitled per state law for an independent evaluation at a school district's expense. So this policy creates some guidelines for us then that we agree on that aligns to the state. So our Heather Harms, our special ed director, has had lawyers look at this policy, making sure that it aligns with the state.
Okay. Nothing else needs to be, getting questions for Kurt? No. All right, item number C, do we have a motion to approve Kurt and Wendy for designation of identified official with authority for the MDE External User Access Recertification System? All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, that's Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
That is Tim Johnson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item number D, approve memorandum of understanding with counseling services for Southern Minnesota. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Kendra. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That is Katie. Is there any discussion?
For the record, this MOU has been in place for a couple years. I thought I'd bring it to your attention. We do have 3 therapists, different ones, a different one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, who will work with our kids and provide services in our school building so parents don't have to leave our building. And they work with the funding, whether it's through their insurance or whether there's through grant related. So a great opportunity for our students in our building.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Got ahead of myself there. All right, item number
Yeah.
A. All right, we're going back to small little a, let's say, with 2 dots. We'll do that. Do we have a motion to approve the 2019-20 Student Family Handbook? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
That's Johnson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That is Laura. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. We got a motion to approve 2019-2020 Staff Handbook. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Johnson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item number C, motion to approve the 2019-2020 Activities Handbook. We got all the handbooks out of the way here. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Katie. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item number D, do we have a motion to approve 2019-2020 substitute handbook? We got a lot of handbooks hanging around, don't we? All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Johnson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Kendra. Is there any discussion? No? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item number E. Do we have a motion to approve the school age care wraparound care and substitute rates for the 2019 and 20 school year, which you should have looked at with the attachment? So, do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That is Kendra. Is there any discussion or anything that anyone wants to add? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item number F, this is what Tim talked about. This was on the agenda when it came to the non-certs when Tim spoke. Do we have a motion to approve the 2019 through 21 custodial contract? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Kendra. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
That is Johnson. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Donations. And Laura brought to our attention that when we're accepting donations, this has to be a resolution. So we need to get a motion to approve the donation from the Rotary Club of $251.25 for the academic awards. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
That is Laura. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That is Katie. Is there any discussion? All right, since it's a resolution, we'll have to do roll call.
Hain,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes.
Size,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Heitkamp.
Yep. All right, motion passes 6-0. All right, item number 11, you'll see the upcoming meetings. Any special ones? Janesville City Council at the City Hall. Let's cross our fingers that they keep it this time. And then we have a special meeting at the Waseca Central Building. Is that for?
Tour, I believe some of you went on last year, so if
Okay.
you want to go again or
All right.
didn't make it last year. The one other invitation that I would extend is the opening day of workshop is Monday, August 26th, I believe. We're having breakfast, and you're more than welcome to come for breakfast and meet the new staff, and then we have a message from me to follow after that, so you're welcome to come.
What time are you thinking?
7:30 is breakfast. I will send out the invite so you have it on your calendar and you can come if you'd like.
Johnson doesn't wake up until 9:30.
So, I'm at work way before that.
All right, okay. And then October 7th, study session. Remember, anybody in the finance committee, there's a meeting after that. And then, of course, October 21st. Can't believe we're talking about October already. It sounds kind of chilly for our regular meeting. All right, and 2, we are going to adjourn at 5:59. Thank you, everyone. Last board meeting until school year starts. So wish everybody the best of luck. So, all right, thank you.